Hello and welcome to PPR's 100% exhibition race here at Canada tonight. We have quite the mixed grid of drivers. It looks like we also have not a mix in weather. We will have a dry qualifying session. Hopefully our weathermen down on the grid can let us know what the race forecast is going to look like later on. But for now, it is looking like clear skies as we're 30 seconds in and no one has yet to leave their pit box, so we'll just get everything set up for you guys here. It's very odd that we've yet to see any driver exit out to start qualifying. So let's kind of go down the list, guys. We have Groggy or Oregano, who we saw last night in our Division 3 race, getting 7th place, I believe, for the Haas team. His teammate of Deluxe Court is also here tonight. He won the race for Division 4. I'm sorry, not Division 3, Division 4 at Germany last night. We also have others, PPR OOT, one of our Division 1 drivers, Jaylee Bones as well, Saxman, King Kirk, all in the Division 1, as well as Aero Brackish. We got a few of our D2 guys as well, Marlon Conga, Easy Breeze, as well as Rustable Ill. Those are all some of our Division 2 drivers. And it looks like we finally have a car out on circuit. That is Jay Lowry, 75, in that nice Papaya McLaren. We'll stick it on board with him as he will most likely set the first lap of the race for the qualifying. It looks like Jay Lowry is finally out of the final chicane and going to start his lap, heading into this quick left-hander of turn 1. Just riding over the curb through turn 2. Decent exit there. Oh, gets on the grass. That's going to cost him a few tenths right there as he pulls in turn 3. Try not to Vettel it. And then around turn 5, want to get all the way on that curb. He does indeed. So far, so good here for the McLaren driver. He is opting to start on the softs. It looks like ultimately that will be what he qualifies on. As we may see some of our drivers, like Marlon, who's hopping on the mediums. Maybe they go for a contra strat today, but I believe we'll see most of our top 10, if not all of the top 10, on that soft compound tire. And through the final chicane, Jay looks like he has kept it clean. He's going to cross the line with a 1:10.4. Not the fastest of laps. Definitely see a lot faster, but that is the first of the session. Oh, looks like Ginger Horizon has invalidated his lap, unfortunately for him, but he'll have a few more goes at it before the end of the session. We are just 4 minutes in. Just like to thank everyone that is tuning in currently on our stream. If you like what you're seeing, give us a nice little like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hopefully we can provide some entertaining racing for all of you here tonight. Looks like Deluxe Court is just about to cross the line here. Ooh, and that is a 109.6 there on the softs. Decent time. I believe we may see some people go a little bit faster than that here. But so far, so good for the Banana Boat Boy. And that'll give him provisional P1, as it looks like Marlon Conga now has gone P2 with a 110.4 on the mediums. Take it back down here to Ginger Horizon, who looks like he is going for another one after he invalidated his last lap. Oh, and he invalidates again on the final turn. That chicane is very tricky. That would have been a 108.8 for the Racing Point driver, but unfortunately for him, he's going to have to bring that back and the pits and put on a new set and go all over again. Hopefully this time he will not invalidate, but now on board here with Aero Brackish. Looks like chicane has not caught him out there, but he took it out very slow, and his time will be very slow as well. That's only a 114.0, so got to think something went wrong there for Brackish on his lap. Brownie Man looks like he has already invalidated on his. We're going to see that catch out a lot of our drivers here today. Right behind him is the Red Bull of Easy Breeze. Looks like he's going kind of slow as well on his mediums. Maybe looking to get some practice laps in on those tires. We'll see what he can cross the line at. And that will be a 1:10.0. So very quick there by Easy Breeze, but he's been 3 laps in on those mediums. So yeah, quite possibly getting some very, very quick practice laps in, but that'll be P2 so far, and presumably he will go back out on the softs later on in the session. As unfortunately my LT button is glitching out for you guys. Do apologize. Get my pipe has invalidated his lap. That is not what Gunther Steiner is going to be wanting from his Haas drivers at all. I'll take it up here with Run the Jewels, who has made a showing here tonight in our 100% race after criticizing it for many weeks. He is finally maybe come around to these races, as they've been quite successful every Sunday or every Saturday and Sunday. Sundays is our PC version, and it looks like, yeah, Jules said he was going to take a little bit of dabble into it tonight, so quite possibly one of his better tracks. So maybe that is the reason he's opted to race tonight. But nonetheless, so far so good on his lap. Getting very close and validating right there to turn 7. Now comes up to the hairpin. Might be... No, he's definitely out of some slipstream from that Renault. That would have been all the much better for the Ferrari. I'm just now getting in from our weatherman that it is going to be a full heavy set, and all of our drivers have vetoed not to race in heavy weather conditions, more for timing constraints, as Cody's chose their dynamic weather to really mess with all of our drivers and our time limit. So we are going to have to restart the lobby after qualifying. So after qualifying, we'll see a brief intermission to restart our grid. But luckily, all of our drivers are aware of that, so none of them are going to try to qualify low and hope for carnage to take out all their compatriots in front of them. So yeah, just beware, guys. We'll have a brief intermission after qualifying to reset our grid and get the race going. As right now, the top three stand Ginger Horizon with a 108.3, followed by Deluxe Cord in second, PPR Double OT in third. We have Easy Breeze and Russ Wheel rounding off fourth and fifth there for the Red Bull team so far. But Ginger Horizon, maybe the man to beat tonight. That is a flyer, a 108.3. Looks like King Kirk is hopping in the pits. So is Groggy. Takes on board here with Brackish. As we've now seen on board here with Brackish, he's currently only set a 112.9 there on the softs. That is not the time that he's going to win at all. Looks like Ginger Horizon is going out on the mediums again. Interesting call there by the Racing Point driver, as he's already set a 103 or 108.3 there, excuse me, on the soft. So I don't understand why he tried to go out on the mediums. I don't know if he could, unless he can set a world record time on those tires. Definitely not gonna be able to beat that soft time. As Easy Breeze is going pretty slow on his lap. Taking on board here with Lucas Papa. Oh, and it looks like he's missing an end plate there. But on board here with Get My Pipe in the Haas. See what he can cross the line at here. He's doing very well on time. Looks like it's a 109. It is a 109.5. That's P5 there for Get My Pipe. Excellent there from the Haas driver. As right in front of him was the Ferrari of King Kirk. King Kirk currently sitting outside the top 10 there in 11th place. See if he can promote himself somewhere within the top 10, maybe even top 5. King Kirk definitely has the pace and even the confidence, as well, as he gets to rock his favorite Ferrari. And he is on a tear right now on this lap, looking very well. He's already 8 tenths up to sector 2, so definitely going to see himself improve. Probably P4 if he can keep it up on this lap and keep it clean through the final chicane. it very clean. This is a very solid lap here from Kirk. That's going to be P5. He's a few tenths short of that P4 I thought he could possibly get, but nonetheless, very nicely done there from him. Looks like on board here with Double OT, he's definitely on an in lap right now. Taking on board here with Saxman and the Toro Rosso. He's yet to set a time tonight. He's all the way back in 19th place, and with just 2 minutes left in the session, all of our drivers are looking to get their final laps in for qualifying. And Saxman is first, so see if he can surprise all of us, maybe find himself in the top 3 or the front row of the grid before the session is over. And nice and easy through the final chicane, and Saxman looks like he's got quite the lap there. That's a 108.6. He's 3 tenths off from pole, but that's good enough for second so far for him. Taking on board here with Russell Ill. Unfortunately for him, it looks like he's going pretty slow in his lap. Nothing to write home about, that is for sure. As all of our drivers are finishing up their final laps here. Taking on board here with Groggy. He's actually only through sector 2. His teammate of Deluxe Cord is barely going to make his lap. They only have 25 seconds remaining. It doesn't look like Groggy's going to do anything here on his, so we'll go ahead and take it off of him. See if Deluxe Cord does make it just by the inch, he'll get his lap in. PPR OT is too far off to get his. But we'll go here with the quick boy of Ginger Horizon. Can he beat his time of a 108.3 on the softs? Oh, and that might cost him, as he had quite the exit coming out of turn 5 and 6, but just barely scraped the wall right there. That can cost you about an entire tenth, and caught himself on the grass, but nonetheless, he's still soaring. He's going to have a little bit of slipstream from the Mercedes in front of him. That looks to be Marlon Conga, who's actually opting to hop in the pits. Oh, and Ginger nearly invalidating his lap right there, but he's going to cross the line with a 108.1, but looks like his lap time was invalidated. Can Deluxe Cord beat it? No, Deluxe Cord cannot. He invalidated as well. That's a 108.9 for Deluxe. It looks like Swifty Pickle. See if he can get himself within the top 10 here. Yes, he can. That is P9 for Swifty. Easy Breeze up in the P5 in the Red Bull and the final spot. As I just missed who had just crossed the line. I believe that was Aero Brackish. Yes, with a 109.4. Jaylee Bowen still going strong here, but it looks like he's going to hop into the pits. Jules, unfortunately, very slow in his lap, and will be the last driver to cross the line here in qualifying. So, Ginger Horizon, P1, followed by Saxman in P2, and PPR OT, P3. Deluxe Cord getting beat out for that front row. So he'll finish in 4th here in qualifying, followed by Easy Breeze, Marlon Conga, ARL Brackish, King Kirk in 8th, followed by Get My Pipe and Lucas Papa in 10th place. And as I said, folks, we're going to take a brief intermission and get the grid reset for the race, as everyone on the grid has vetoed what was going to be a full wet race, heavy rain from start to finish. So I'm going to go ahead and get them restarted, and we'll be right back with you guys. Hello and welcome back for PPR's 100% Canadian Grand Prix here for our Xbox side of things. We have finally got the grid reset, lobby restarted, and as you see, it is not pouring rain on the circuit. And to the delight of almost all of our drivers, besides maybe a couple, it is not raining. And we will have a somewhat clear race and maybe some chaos towards the middle part, but we'll just have to wait and see, as we are just letting all of our drivers choose their setups, choose what tires are going to start on for the race, and get this formation lap going. So once again, thank you guys all for waiting while we got everything reset and the lobby restarted. I appreciate taking a short intermission break with us, but here we go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And here we go for the formation lap on board here with Ginger Horizon. And there we go. Now our RB button is working and we can change through the cameras. We'll see what tires our guys are going for here in the race. Looks like King Kirk is the only one on the mediums back there in 7th place. So we'll take you down the grid right now. So as you see it, Ginger Horizon starting on pole, set a 108.3 in qualifying. Right behind him is the Toro Rosso man of Saxman. And he's in there in second. He set a 108.5 in quali. Deluxe Cord in P3. That should have actually been Easy Breeze. It looks like our lobby host made a little bit of a mistake right there. Hopefully the drivers don't start and make a riot. But Easy Breeze there in 4th, followed by Marlon Conga, ARO, the other Toro Rosso man. And we have King Kirk and his Ferrari, followed by Get My Pipe in the Haas, Lucas Papa in 9th, followed by Swifty Pickle in 10th. Rustable Ill here in the Red Bull sits outside the top 10 and 11. Jaylee Bowens looks to have been disqualified from the formation lap, and as we see, most of our drivers are ghosting. So we will stick this back on board for a 70-lap race, and I am all by myself in the booth. So if you guys have some questions you would like to ask me during the race, feel free to ask. We now wait for lights out. We have 3, 4, 5. Lights out, and away we go. No one has yet to get off. There we go, a brief delay, but here we go now. All our drivers are off. Ginger getting a great start. Looks like one of the Red Bulls is really lagging through, as Lucas Papa has already retired from the session. Oh, and that's a McLaren off in the background. That was Jay Lowry getting all out of sorts coming out of turn 2. Double OT has left the session for unknown reasons. We've already lost 2 drivers in the matter of seconds. Ginger Horizon up here very comfortably in 1st. We have Marlon Conga right behind Saxman here. Marlon's trying to get a good run here on Saxman. See if he looks to make a move. He's just going to slot himself right back in. So quite a chaotic first lap for all of our drivers. Looks like the Red Bull here of Easy Breeze getting a little bit out of sorts. And we see Jay Lee Bowens dropping all the way down back after losing it out of turn 14, and he's now going to be all the way down in 14th place. looks like we are experiencing some connection issues because most of our drivers have been lagging around here in the race. Oh, it looks like Get My Pipe and Rustful Ill are going side by side through the chicane. That's going to be Rustful Ill into P7. Get My Pipe already losing some spots here. Night Shrimp right behind them. DRS has been enabled now in the session. Looks like King Kirk has already hopped into the pits and retired. Hate to see it. We've already lost 3 drivers in 3 laps. Ooh, and it looks like Night Shrimp has just touched the back of Get My Pipe. Looks like no damage doing there, but these guys are really starting to get trained. It looks like Swifty Pickle taking it down the inside here. The McLaren. Oh, the McLaren of Night Shrimp's gone off the track to stay back next to Swifty, but looks like Swifty's got that move done. Get My Pipe, we can see up front going down the inside here of Rustful Ill. He's got to watch out because Rustful may have DRS now down this straight. And it looks like neither one did. Oh no, Get My Pipe did. So he got through the detection zone before Rust. Looks like Rustful Ill now is hopping into the pits as Ginger Rising sets the fastest lap of the race. Night Shrimp and Groggy having a little battle here. Looks like Groggy's going to lose out at the moment. Take it on board here with our top 3. Deluxe Board already into P2 with Saxman sitting in P3. Grid is already starting to form out just a little bit. We're only 4 laps into the race, so definitely going to be a battle of endurance and a battle of attrition here, as all of our drivers try to survive through 70 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix. Luxport is looking to regain his position right now here on Saxman. And Saxman is flying through the field right now. Looks like he's already gaining on Ginger Horizon. He's already 3 seconds up. Groggy and Night Shrimp having a battle back here, going side by side. Looks like Night Shrimp's going to get that move done before, well, I believe his turn is 7 there. Groggy's still within that 1 second gap. We'll have DRS coming down the straight. He's going to have to be careful though. Brawny Man and J. Lee Bowens are right behind him and on the tail. Start gaining positions as well as Easy Breeze and Brackish getting a fight through the chicane. Saxman goes fastest lap of the race with a 1:12.0. Easy Breeze is falling back here now to the sister team of Aero Brackish in that Toro Rosso. Oh, but Brackish has pulled a Vettel. And now him and Easy Breeze are going side by side, but looks like Easy Breeze has backed off and let Brackish stay ahead. That could have been a catastrophe for both drivers, and Brackish did not leave any more space. But coming down in the hairpin, Easy Breeze is going to have a decent run here now on Brackish. Looks like he got a good enough exit. He might fall too far back before he can make a move into the chicane. It looks like Easy Breeze is starting to fall back here. Deluxe Sport has already picked up his 3-second time penalty. As Saxman is sitting comfortably behind Ginger Horizon right now with a 3-second gap between the two of them. Get My Pipe has now received a 3-second time penalty. Easy Breeze still on the back here of Brackish, and we see the time penalties just flying through the field. Groggy has now come to pits, presumably picked up some wing damage there. It's a very early stop in the race. It looks like Brackish is just getting too far ahead for Easy Breeze. Can maybe Swifty Pickle pick up the pace there in the Toothpaste Williams? Give Easy Breeze a run for his money. He's going to be too far back here, but he can start building into that gap as he sits in P7 so far here in the Toothpaste Williams. Unfortunately, something went wrong with his teammate of Double OT tonight. As we were unable to catch that, he was actually kicked from the session, so RIP to Double OT. I know he was very excited to race in this race tonight, and due to unfortunate circumstances and maybe some Code Masters drama, he was unable to race after we restarted the lobby. But so far, it looks like most of our drivers are just trying to sort themselves out on the track. Oh no, what has gone wrong with Rustable Ill? Rustable Ill is sideways and as losing an end plate, and that's very, very bad for the Red Bull team. Christian Horner is not going to be happy about that whatsoever. Looks like Brackish now has gotten around Marlon Conga. So Brackish making his way up the field. We already have another yellow. Looks like that is the Ferrari of Run the Jewels, who's gone sideways through the chicane and now dropped all the way back down to the 13th place. He's losing an end plate as well. So many of our drivers really getting out of sorts very early in the race. We've already had 3 DNFs from King Kirk, Jay Lowry, and Lucas Papa. And we hope that we don't see any more here in the race. You always hate to see a driver retire. What you do love to see is this battle between Marlon Conga and ARL Brackish. Marlon's got DRS engaged. He may quite possibly make a move here through the chicane. He's got the line and he's got the move done. Brackish had to concede the place to avoid picking up any unwanted time penalty. And Marlon is already up by half a second now. For Brackish, it's really gonna have to pick it up as Swifty Pickle is making his way through the field as well. Very, very assassin-like here from the Williams driver, keeping it quiet but slowly picking up positions. As we can't forget about the Red Bull of Easy Breeze behind them. He's fallen a little bit off the pace here in the last few laps, but nonetheless still in the fight here, sitting in P7. Run the Jewels has DNF'd in the pit lane after picking up that wing damage, so that is already 4 retirements here. 14 remain in the session. It looks like Rustable Ill is already going to get lapped after having to pit for a new front wing, and he's got the entire rest of the field coming through right now, so he's gonna have to get out the way of presumably everybody and just pray for a safety car, because this is really gonna ruin his race and any chance of scoring some points here. Once again, it is just an exhibition race, but nonetheless, all drivers are still fighting as if it was one of their league races on a Tuesday or Friday night. So they have half more of a race than usual, but even more of the fight. As Easy Breeze is getting very close now to Swifty Pickle there. As these four have provided most of the action tonight. As Ginger, Horizon, Saxman, Deluxe Board, even Marlon Kong as well, has fit pretty well, pretty comfortable there in the top 4, kind of racing their own race, as well as everyone from 9th all the way down to Rustable Ill in 14th. But the midfield really showing some good pace between all of them, and quite equal as well. So yet again we have another yellow flag that looks like it is the Red Bull again of Rustable Ill, and he is sitting backwards on the track. He's gonna have to be very careful. He's got a lot of guys coming through right now. He also doesn't want to get disqualified for facing the wrong way. And it looks like he's gotten himself back onto the track, but nonetheless he's losing even more of his front wing, and he just pitted for another one. So Rustable Ill having a horrendous start of this race. He's already a lap down. Oh no, and Swifty Pickle has hit the wall of champions. Let's hope he didn't pick up any damage there. And now see Aero Brackish locking up in the turn 1, trying to get around Marlon Conga. We take a look at Swifty Pickle. It doesn't look like he picked up any wing damage, so he's very lucky to escape the wall of champions there, and it looks like Rustable Ill yet again has hopped into the pits. But Swifty is already falling back now from these guys. Rustable Ill has retired from the session, and that is going to be a VSC. As it looks like Rustable, after retiring in the pits, his AI decided they wanted to come out on track and sit and watch the action live for themselves, and now park at turn 1 and 2 on that runoff area. Looks like the VSC now is coming to an end. Most of our drivers picking back up to speed. Ginger and Saxman have both come into the pits. Ginger looks like he's opting to go on those medium. Saxman on to the soft. The varying tire choices for those guys. But Ginger is going to still come out because of the VSC. He's coming out still in P1 and on fresher tires. Saxman, who's behind him just by only 5 seconds, loses out major on that, and he's going to come out in P5, so he lost 3 spots. Meanwhile, Ginger doesn't lose any. It really shows how much time you can gain just under a VSC there. And Ginger set himself up perfectly for the rest of the race. Brackish going too deep there into the hairpin. Gonna be too far back to really make any move on Marlin. Swifty Pickle, DRS engaged. He's still saying about half a second back here to Brackish. And playing it pretty safe through the chicane. And probably not to pick up any time penalty, but they're gonna have to watch out now for Saxman there in the Toro Rosso shortly behind them. As he now has fresh softs. He's gonna be pushing as hard as he can to make up any time lost. One thing he does have over Ginger Horizon right now will be pace. I mean, Ginger opted to go on the mediums here, stretch out his second stint of the race, and Saxman, choosing to be on the softs, will presumably try to push as hard as he can for his last stint of the race over. We are hearing on track that there should be rain coming later on in the race, so this is really going to shake up things. But here we're going. The action is starting to pick itself back up. Swifty Pickle gonna have to be careful there, does not touch the gearbox and lose the front wing there. But he's in a Toro Rosso sandwich now because Saxman is right behind him. He's got Aero Brackish in front of him. Aero Brackish now looking on the move on Marlon Conga through the chicane. Oh, and they're actually going into the pits, and Brackish picks up a 5-second time penalty, completely ignoring the fact that him and Marlon were both hopping into the pits. So that's going to cost him. That's now going to promote Saxman into P2. See, Brackish, Marlin, Deluxe is going to come through after pitting. So Deluxe has now put himself back into third place as he's coming out in front of Brackish and Marlin. Brackish really no regards for safety there as he just threw it into the pit lane. But nonetheless, the fight between him and Marlin goes on as Swifty Pickle, after his stop, has fallen behind Night Shrimp, Easy Breeze, and Get My Pipe after their stops have fallen all the way back behind Prime Man. So they're sitting 9th and 10th. Presumably maybe had to get a front wing change for those drivers. But here we are, 16 laps into the 70 lap race. Oh, if it was 17 laps, this stream would be very short tonight. But 17 laps into the 70 lap race. And Saxman currently sitting in P2. He's going to try to bridge that gap now between him and Ginger. He's got the quicker set of tires. The 7 seconds is quite the ask for him. Looks like Swifty Pickle now has gotten around Night Shrimp. Night Shrimp, though, diving it back down the inside. We just missed that due to horrible timing on the camera angles. But Night Shrimp found himself into the wall of champions. And he's going to just pull that thing into the pits. Went very optimistic there. He already had the place lost, but he was showing that he was not going to quit and just threw it through the chicane and ended up quite possibly hindering his entire race. Now he's going to fall all the way back to P12 and just in front of Dorowski 21. Back on board here with the Mercedes of Marlon Conga. We have DRS here. He's half a second back, so I don't know if he's going to be able to pick up a chance to make a move here. Saxman has gone fastest, 111.7 there. So he is really cutting into that gap of Ginger, but I don't know if he's doing enough here to possibly break into that gap before he has to pit again, or before the rain starts to trickle onto the circuit. We see the clouds starting to come together here. It's still pretty sunny, so I wouldn't expect any rain for at least another probably 15 minutes. Brackish is probably wincing in his helmet. He's most likely trying to do what everyone else here on the circuit is currently doing. That is just race your own race, but Marlon Conga has just been sitting in his rearview mirrors for the entire race, and he's not giving up here. He's going to have DRS once again. He's gained only a 10th here, not even through this one lap. But he's still letting Brackish know that he's here, and he's still going to put up a fight. Doing well not to cost really either one of them any time. He's definitely going to be looking to take that 4th place spot here for Brackish. He might do so here now through turn 1. He's down the inside of Brackish. Gives him the squeeze, makes it work, and that is P4 now for Marlon Conga. And Brackish is going to fall back into P5. That's unfortunate for Brackish. He's already falling back so much from Marlon. You gotta think, maybe Brackish was just holding up Marlon now, because Marlon has already soared off and is a second ahead of Brackish only through sector 1 after making that overtake through turn 1. All that Brackish could do right now is just stay within DRS detection range, which he's just outside of a second, now under it. We'll see if he can get it. That's going to be his best hope here, to also be able to save fuel and manage his ERS, but no, he did not get DRS. Or at least from his wing did not look like it, but definitely here on the timing sheets it did. He gained a whole half a second. Oh, and his DRS may be broken. That doesn't look like the case. I don't know. Let me know in chat, because that does not look like that was an open wing down the straights. But we'll take you down to the back of the grid here. We have Jay Lee Bowens on Groggy. Jay Lee starting to catch up here now to the Renault driver. Oh, Groggy nearly in the wall. Jay Lee has a little bit of a tap with him. He had nowhere to go, as Groggy was going really slow through the wall of champions. Luckily for Jay Lee, no damage picked up on his front wing, because we do run reduced damage for these 100% races. Groggy just sitting in the middle of the track, not really giving Jay Lee any options to go around. Jay Lee is fighting as hard as possible to get around the Renault driver, but Groggy's just sitting his car in the middle of the track, and wherever Jay Lee opts to go, left or right, he is just pushing his car to either side. And Jay Lee now has taken another tap to the Renault's gearbox, and he just doesn't know where to go. Groggy is not allowing any space. It looks like he's finally gotten around the slow Renault and has got himself up now into P9. Also has to be said that Jay Lee's on 4 lap softs, whereas Groggy is only 13 laps into his mediums. That should be the move done. What is not done, though, is still this battle between Marlon Conga and Brackish. This might go on till the end of the race, because these guys have been within a second almost the entire race. As we look up at the timing chart, Saxman is losing time to Ginger Horizon. Saxman on those quicker tires was starting to bridge in the gap, got to about 6 seconds, but over the past 3 to 4 laps, I mean, that gap is now 9 seconds. Saxman is losing drastically out. Gotta wonder if he has any damage there to his car. Quite possibly could be the case, because to lose that much time, especially on the soft tires and with the pace that Saxman has, just something's going wrong with that car, or maybe it's just some driver fatigue already setting in, as we're rounding about here on lap number 22 of the race. But it looks like Brackish now sitting pretty comfortably behind Marlon. Probably just waiting to set up his move here through the long DRS straight before the final chicane. And it's quite a hard move to make and get right without really picking up any time penalties. This game is so harsh on you through that section of track. It's Marlon dipping very close to the wall right there. Brackish gaining, but he's not going to have enough here. He'll still keep himself slotted behind the Mercedes. It has to be said that Ginger Horizon has done a wonderful job so far in the race, sitting in first place, timed his pit stop perfectly. Tire strategy looks like it has come into play as well for him. He's 10 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, and that is Saxman Deluxe Cord, sitting P3. Our race winner from last night in our Division 4 race, not doing too bad himself, showing that he definitely has the pace over some of our other guys in our other top divisions. And also Marlon Conga, a Division 2 driver, been battling alongside here with Aero Brackish, who races in our Division 1. Note the biggest difference between those two divisions is the assists. No assists are run in Division 1, whereas in Division 2 you are only restricted to not run pit assist. But nonetheless, Marlon Conga even showing that he can battle with our guys up in Division 1, as most of these gaps have started to break out quite drastically. I mean, we've been on board here with Brackish and Marlon for the majority of the past probably 7 laps, as everyone else is kind of just driving their own race right now. And we're starting to see the clouds even come in further as rain is looming in the near future for these guys. And that's definitely going to affect these next few stops. As we already see, Get My Pipe is now heading in the pits. Only 7 laps in, and he has retired in the pits. So that is now our 6th retirement of the race, and we're going to be left with only 12 drivers. We're not even halfway through the race yet. There's still 10 laps away from half distance, and Get My Pipe's AI is doing what we saw Rustables do earlier in the race, and he's getting back on the circuit. That is something you hate to see here from Cody's. Drivers doing the right thing, just pulling the pits and retiring, but the AI, nonetheless, mind of its own, gets back out on track and retires by itself. Hopefully this does not cause a safety car or VSC. It doesn't look like it will. Just see the yellows there for Sector 1. So 25 laps in, 6 retirements, 12 remain. Gonna really hope that we don't see what we saw in Australia, where a lot of our drivers who were just not able to make it through. Because we didn't even see this many retirements last week at Baku. Oh no, and it looks like we have a Renault that just went off. Presumably that was Groggy just ahead of these guys. I'm sorry, Deluxe Cord. Deluxe Cord looks like he got a little bit out of sorts there coming out of the hairpin. Still, yeah, nothing doing between Marlon and Brackish. Taking on board here with Bronny Man. Bronny Man looks like he's starting to gain a little bit here on the Renault of Groggy. See if Bronny has anything in his book to make this happen. He's already cutting into the gap here, Groggy. Groggy definitely has those old tires. He's on 18 laps in on the mediums. Had to pit pretty early in the race due to presumably front wing damage, so he's had to take his second stint pretty long here as Bronny Man is perfect on his timetable for stops. And you're starting to see it take effect because those 10-lap fresher tires starting to show that they have more pace over the near 20-lap old mediums of the Renault in front of Bronny Man. Looks like Bronny Man now going down the inside of Groggy. He's going to get that move done before chicane. There's nothing Groggy can do. Oh, Groggy almost shoving Bronny Man into the wall of champions. He's going to fall back now into 10th place. He's already got Ginger Horizon behind him, so he's going to have to get out the way now. Blue flag, as we can hear Seb saying in the background. Ginger Horizon is making his way up the field. He's already lapping most of the back end of our field, I should say. It's starting to now get all the way up. He's already lapped up 8th place of Easy Breeze. This Ginger is just on a tear here tonight. And Saxon behind him just has had nothing to throw at Ginger. He sits in 2nd place. The Luxcord very quietly has remained in 3rd throughout the majority of the race. He's just kind of been racing his own race like most of the grid tonight. I mean, there's not been a lot of action. It's just sad to see, but in these 100% races, it's really more a battle of endurance, a battle of attrition. Who can keep their car out of the walls, out of the barriers, and out of trouble? And so far, nearly halfway through, we've already seen 6 of our drivers unable to do so. But the top 3 definitely showing how it's done, and even Marlon Congan and Brackish here, as Brackish is starting to get back into the fight now with Marlon. He's been behind Marlon for probably the past 5 laps now, unable to get a move done, and just quietly sitting back. But it looks like Marlon might be falling out of pace just a little bit here, and Brackish right on his tail now, maybe looking to make a move. As now we go on board here with the Red Bull of Easy Breeze, as he's now on the tail end here of Groggy. We saw Groggy earlier lose out to Bronny Man, and it looks like he's about to lose out now to Easy Breeze. Easy Breeze has all the tire life in the world. He's throwing it down the inside very aggressively, going side by side with Bronny Groggy. And yeah, just nothing that Groggy can do as he falls now into 10th place. And Easy Breeze gets himself up into 9th. Very well done there from the Red Bull man. As we take it back to the sister team, the Toro Rosso, that we've been on board for majority of this race. And he is still fighting it out with Marlin. We really got to think how much longer Saxman and Deluxeport can make their softs go in the race. Marlin and Brackish, their mediums are going to have the pace advantage. If the drivers don't, the tires will. So we may see quite the shakeup here. We know there's rain looming towards the end of this race, and that could shake up the entire grid, or at least the top 5 at least. As Ginger has set himself up perfectly, but Saxman and Deluxeport could be caught out here and maybe lose out on a podium. We're now almost halfway through this race. Looks like Jay Lee now is opting to pit. He's going to fall back into 11th place. It's not been his race. His teammate has kind of stolen the show here for Mercedes, as Marlin just sits outside of podium contention. And there it is. As we talked about, Deluxeport has hopped into the pits, going for another set of softs. He's going to fall back into 5th place. That's going to promote Marlin into 3rd and Aero Brackish into 4th. And Deluxe is going to come out in front of Swifty Pickle, so he'll be in 5th place. He's now 10 seconds abreast from P4, and he's already putting in the time. He's already cut that down by half a second. Those softs are going to have a drastic difference between what it feels like for 3rd and 4th place here, Marlin and Brackish, as they sit on 16 lap old medium tires. As we do so, we're going to take a quick look at the position changes so far in the night. Brawny Man, quite possibly the big winner so far. 10 positions up after starting in P17. Deluxeport, we see he's fallen 2 spots, but only because he is just pitted. And Ginger, Saxman, no changes doing there for them. Now taking a look at stops, the top 4 only made 1 stop so far tonight. Deluxe, Swifty Pickle, 2 stops between themselves. Brawny Man, Groggy with 1. Jay Lee, we just saw him come in for his 2nd stop. He's already back up in the 9th place. They're doing very well there. So we'll take this back on to tire wear. You see Deluxeport is on a charge. He's already cut a 2nd into the gap with these guys in front. That is what he's going to have to do if he wants to maintain his podium standing tonight. He's gone purple to Sector 1, quite possibly could get fastest lap of the race and steal that over Saxman's current fastest lap, which I believe is a 1:11.5. Deluxeport is on a absolute tear. Already only 7 seconds down after coming out over 10 seconds behind 3rd and 4th place. He's now gone purple through Sector 2. Let's see what his lap time is going to look like here. And that was a 1:11.0 from Deluxeport. If I'm Aero Brackish and Marlin, I am not sitting very comfortably in the cockpit of my car right now. Those guys are not in a good space. Oh, what has gone wrong here with Easy Breeze? Oh, he's turned backwards on track. Let's see if he can get himself stable again. Yes, he can. That's unfortunate for Easy Breeze. Was having a decent race, and it has all gone bad. after that spin. Brackish now is probably trying to get around Marlin before the Renault, as we see Deluxe Core now behind them. Yeah, maybe trying to get past Marlin before Deluxe Core gets up to him, just so Deluxe has one car to fight before him. Oh, as J. Lee Bowens has retired. Looks like he's jumped in the pits to retire. And like we've seen other AIs do, he's going to hop back on the track, retired by himself at turn one. Hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car or a VSC. Doesn't look like it will. Just some yellow flags for sector one. What we like to see. Keep the racing going, as we are now halfway through. We got half a race distance left to go and just over half the field left. Hopefully that does not mean that we'll only have 2 drivers remaining before the end of the race. I would hate to see that, but that would be quite the spectacle to see only 2 drivers finish the race. It's something we definitely don't want to see. Here comes Deluxe Core. He's already 2.5 seconds back. He's got all the pace in the world now. He's fighting his way back up into 3rd place. Now, to everyone currently tuned in the race, let me know your thoughts in chat of what you thought so far about this race. As we now have Deluxe scored right on the back of Brackish, and Night Shrimp's Ghost right in front of them. Night Shrimp in P9. Not getting out the way, which you would like him to do as a blue flag. He does understand that he's ghosted, even though ghosting is off. Don't know why Cody's does this, but Night Shrimp not fighting, not getting out the way. He is getting blue flagged, but there goes Deluxe Cord and getting the move done and picking up a 3-second time penalty, presumably because he couldn't see the track through Night Shrimp's AI. You are supposed to get out of the way when you get those blue flags, but Night Shrimp just ignoring them. Probably getting very close to picking up a time penalty now. And that's almost 5 blue flags that he has seen. But now it is Marlon Conga that Deluxe Cord has his sights on. Oh, Marlon's already getting a pretty bad exit out of here. Deluxe is already side by side. Marlon cutting him off on the inside. So Deluxe is going to have to make the long way around. Marlon's going to cut the corner. Oh, but he loses the back end. Gets out the way of the wall. And gets overtaken by the ghost of Night Shrimp. Night Shrimp not even in the battle, but he's sticking with it. Because of this, he's getting DRS because he's a second behind the car. So this is even worse for the 4th and 5th place cars, as they have a ghosted driver in front of them. As you wish Cody's, when you turn ghosting off, would still not ghost a lapped car, but it still does for some reason or another. And we are still having this problem. Unfortunate to see here at PPR. But gotta say, Saxon now has gone 24 laps in on the softs. We see the clouds are forming now, but it looks like we're still about 5 to 10 minutes away from rain, and we have a safety car out on track. Not too sure what the safety car is for. Doesn't look like, oh, actually, I take that back. The Red Bull of Easy Breeze has come off at the Wall of Champions. He has been collected. So over halfway through, and we have only half a fill remaining. This is perfect for Saxman. I think it's a new set of tires. He's going to come out in front of Deluxe Cord and right behind Ginger Horizon. So now Ginger Horizon is going to get caught out. And even worse for our drivers, rain is looming right above their heads. So we've now almost had a complete reset of the race. Let's see. Ginger's probably begging the safety car to go faster so he can hop in the pits and put on a new set of tires. Yeah, he still has the gap here, but yeah, Deluxe is he is a man on a mission right now, trying to catch that safety car as fast as possible before Ginger can make it into the pits. Presumably, I don't see why Ginger would stay out. If I'm Ginger, you know, might break the rules a little bit here, just overtake the safety car, not stay behind him. But unfortunately, that may cause a glitch in the game. So Ginger doing what he needs to do, and he's staying out, presumably. He is staying out on his set of mediums. Maybe he knows that the rain is closer than what we think. So maybe drivers like Saxman, who just pitted and let Deluxe Cord pass him up on track, might fall victim to losing a spot here. We just have to wait and see as the rest of our grid comes back to form. So far we have had 10 DNFs, so let's call out the F's in the chat for these following drivers. That is Easy Breeze, J. Lee Bowens, Get Me My Pipe, Rustable Ill, Run the Jewels, King Kirk, Jay Lowry, and Lucas Papa. It's unfortunate those drivers were unable to finish the race here tonight. But now with just 30 laps remaining, under half a race distance to go, we got the threat of rain looming. We have the threat of Ginger Horizon quite possibly losing out on a race victory here. If this rain doesn't come soon, I don't see how he's gonna be able to compete. His tires are so much older than the guys behind him, so he's gotta know something we don't. We'll see it. I've seen drivers prove me wrong in the past, and I wouldn't doubt that Ginger Horizon can do that right now. Hopefully the lapped cars can come around the safety car. Oh, and there comes the rain. The rain is coming down on the track under the safety car. Night Shrimp is going to dive down into the pits. See what tires he puts on. If he goes intermediates, it's definitely way too early. The rain has just started to come down. He's going in for intermediates now. He is not going to have really any traction, as we're now seeing front wings being broken off. What has gone wrong? Doesn't look like that was any of our... Oh no, that was Ginger Horizon has lost a front wing. So his race has really got flipped on his head. Unsure what just happened. He's now got a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Cody's is just throwing everything at us under the safety car. We got rain, we got ghosted cars, we got Night Shrimp going for intermediate tires. We have 10 drivers left through 41 laps. 8 have already DNF'd, and we have 29 laps to go. Our race leader, who's been leading almost every lap of this race, actually he has led every lap of this race, had a perfect strategy set. Rain started to come down, he stayed out. Safety car is in this lap, and he now has a broken end plate, and really, he might be sitting in first place now, but he has everything to lose. He's got Deluxe and Saxman right behind him on fresher softs. The rain's starting to come down harder. I'm starting to think Ginger's gonna hop in the pits right here. Maybe throw on inners. Still too early to do so. Maybe he stays out one lap with this broken end plate and just tries to make it last, but he could see himself losing some positions right here. As we already have Bronny Man and Night Shrimp both on intermediate tires. And everyone is hopping into the pits. Oh, and what is Brackish? Brackish has done it again with Marlin. They went too wide. So we'll see who's going to be the winner out here in the pits. Looks like the Lux Cord is going to come out on top. Yes, he will. Saxman right behind him. Swifty, Pickle, Marlin, Conga, Brackish, and Ginger now is all the way back in 6th place after being in 1st the entire race. So he has everything to lose now. He's just got to go for it full send. As the rain is touching down on track, Bronny Man and Night Shrimp probably possibly getting back in the positions they would like to be. Not so far next, and Swifty Pickle getting all out of sorts. This rain's starting to come down. See how long it lasts here in the race. This is getting pretty challenging now. Oh, and Marlin trying to throw down the inside of Swifty Pickle. He's gone off. Oh, and that is horrible for Marlin. He's gonna have to get off of the track. And Ginger Horizons already found himself into P4. Marlin, after making contact there, very aggressive trying to make that move on Swifty Pickle. And Swifty Pickle's found himself into P3 now. Oh, this is, like I said earlier in the race, Swifty Pickle, a silent assassin. Not been making too much noise here in the race, but already found himself into P3. Unfortunately, though, he has got a man on a mission, and that is Ginger Horizon, who's sitting P4 right behind him and is looking really pacey on these intermediate tires. As we look now at Deluxe Cord sitting P1. Saxman right behind him in the Toro Rosso, and P2 2 seconds off from the Renault Man. And right behind them is Swifty Pickle and the Toothpaste Williams, who's going to be fighting off Ginger Horizon for as long as he can for potentially a podium finish. This is Swifty Pickle's first ever race at PPR. Now, it is just an exhibition race, but for him to pick up a podium on his first race, I mean, he would definitely be ecstatic. I at least know that I would if this was my first race in a new league. We go down the rest of our grid. Bronny Man, the only car yet to get lapped. Night Shrimp, Grofsky, and Groggy have all been lapped already. Bronny Man sitting in 7th, yet to get lapped. This is starting to look more like a Formula 1 race than an esports exhibition race, with the varying pace differences between all of these drivers. But it looks like Ginger Horizon is gaining on Swifty Pickle. Remember, there is no DRS advantage here, so got to do it all on track. It's just all about pure pace and speed, and still going to get a little bit of a slipstream advantage. Oh, Ginger nearly getting into the back of Swifty Pickle there. See if he can get it down the straight. I don't know if he has enough room. Doesn't look like he does. Going to take a peek, but nothing doing through chicane. Swifty Pickle going to stay in P3 for now, but might lose it here through turn 1. Swifty's going to come sit in the middle of the track. Oh, and braking way later than Swifty is Ginger Horizon, and he takes P3 away from the Williams driver. see if Swifty can fight back at all here on Ginger. Doesn't look like he can. He's already fallen back to almost a second back now. And it looks like Saxman now is starting to catch up with the Lux Cord. Could Saxman potentially get a race win here? Due to the unfortunate circumstances that Ginger was facing, his huge lead went to nothing, and because he had to get a front wing replaced, presumably for hitting the safety car or hitting something, he's falling back into third, and Saxman gaining now on Deluxe Cord. Looks like he has the pace over the Renault driver. We see Deluxe Cord nearly running into the wall of champions. Saxman definitely has to be the favorite right now if he can get past Deluxe Cord. Saxman's brought it down to 8/10 now. Rain doesn't look like it's letting up quite yet. It is still gonna be here. See if does this rain last till the end of the race, or if maybe we see a dry track at the end. Now take it on down to Aero Brackish, who's starting to gain on Swifty Pickle. Swifty Pickle just doesn't look like he has quite the pace as the rest of our field. Brackish, and that is one of many time penalties that he's picked up today. But looks like he's going to get the move done here on Swifty Pickle through turn one. And he does. Swifty slots himself in right behind Brackish. Swifty maybe fight back here against Brackish. He's unable to do so against Ginger after Ginger got the overtake. Just doesn't look like Swifty Pickle is as confident on the throttle as some of the guys in front of him. So we'll take this back up now to Saxman, as he's now only 3/10 back from Deluxe Cord. Oh, but catching a lot of oversteer right there. Looks like Deluxe Cord's going to live to fight another lap. Unfortunately though for Deluxe Cord, that is also one of many time penalties he's picked up tonight. We'll see how those play out for him by the end of the race, but Ginger Horizon now is only 2 seconds back of these guys. So this is making for what could possibly be quite the fight to the finish. Oh, Ginger. Looks like he lost it just a little bit right there, as he is pushing very hard to catch up with the front two drivers. Saxman now looks like he's fallen off of pace because Deluxe Cord now a little bit further in front. And as these guys in front start making mistakes, this is just opening up the possibilities for Ginger Horizon picking back up his first place that he lost after the safety car. Very surprised that we've not seen any of our drivers DNF here in the rain, as we saw 8 guys DNF under clear conditions, but yet the rain falls down, and presumably it's because all these drivers were able to make it through the clear. Maybe they just have better luck at Canada, but it's definitely unfortunate for our 8 who have DNF'd here in the race. Thoughts and prayers go out to them. But luckily for the rest of our grid, all in the top 10, they'll all be picking up points today. They can make it at least 90% race distance, and we are getting very close to it. I believe that is 61, 62 laps. And here goes Ginger Horizon now down the inside of Saxman. And Saxman looks like he just let off the throttle there. And he's going to let Ginger go ahead and battle it out with the Lux Cord. Interesting tactics there by Saxman. Presumably thinking he can just stay behind Ginger, let Ginger fight it out with the Lux. That way he can stay within this battle. But now we are down to the battle for the race lead. It is the Lux Cord v Ginger Horizon. 20 laps to go in the race. Looks like the rain is lighting up just a little bit here. It's still very wet on track. Down turn 3 we go. Ginger's already catching up very quickly to Deluxe Cord, but see how Deluxe can defend against this. Oh, and Ginger getting out of sorts. We turn 5 and 6, so Deluxe Cord still maintaining first place. But it's going to be a hard fight coming down the straight. Oh, as Ginger's going to take a peek here down the hairpin. Deluxe has to leave the space. He's going to keep P1. Was that the wrong move for Ginger to go for the overtake right there? We're going to have to wait and see if he can get it down the straight. Deluxe not knowing if he's going to try to go for it again down the chicane. Kind of sat in the middle of the track, leaned back to the left. And it looks like Ginger Horizon going for it at the hairpin. Didn't work out, but he's going to get it here in turn 1, presumably, after Deluxe Cord got another terrible exit out of the final turn. We've seen that every lap from him. He just can't get it right, and that's what cost him the place. Oh, and he almost loses it and pits his car into the wall. Luckily, he does not, but Ginger Horizon looks like he might take off for the race win now if he can keep his car in one piece and out of any extraordinary time penalties. As he has just had the outright pace on the entire field today. But now it looks like this is going to be the battle for P2 because Deluxe Cord once again getting out of sorts. Saxman going to go down the inside. Deluxe tried to squeeze him, realizes he has to leave the space. Saxman is right there. They're going to go into the hairpin. Saxman is going to get the position for a brief second and lose it right back to Deluxe after Deluxe gets the better exit. These guys are going to have to be very careful battling out in the rain, especially coming down this last chicane into the wall of champions. Don't want to do any harm to either one. And it looks like Saxman just had to back out right there. Oh, but Deluxe almost hitting the wall again. And that's going to be Saxman back into P2. Ginger's already gotten up to 2.5 seconds, so really the fight is just to see who could finish on the second step of the podium instead of the third. Let's see how Deluxe Cord can fight back here now against Saxman. Looks like the rain has stopped. The track's still very wet. Intermediate still the tire of choice, but you got to think, and next 3 to 4 laps, maybe even shorter, this track's going to start to dry up and might start seeing drivers go out on a different set of tires. They can definitely take the softs till the end of the race now. signal for our drivers that softs are the tire of choice. Well, when we see DRS enabled, once you see that on the screen, that is usually when our drivers, if they're not already on a softer compound tire, should definitely be pitting for them. This track is drying up very quickly. But unfortunate for Deluxe Sport, he's already picked up another 3-second time penalty. Those are definitely going to come back to haunt him by the end of the race. And luckily, we see Bronny Man do what Night Shrimp would not earlier in the race, and that is get out of the way under blue flags. And oh, speaking of Night Shrimp, he will appear on screen. That is a 3-second time penalty for the McLaren driver. But Deluxe Sport so far doing very well to not let Saxman just break out a gap between them. Oh, and Deluxe, right when I say that, taps the wall. Still has all of his front wing after all of his erratic car behavior and multiple hits to the wall of champions, but that's going to cost him some time as we see it. And he's already losing the back end. Oh, no. Can he save it? Yes, he does. That left and right and oversteer out of everywhere. And he's going to stay out on track after Ginger and Saxman both pit. This is kind of Deluxe Sport's last ditch effort to get whatever advantage he can, but this track is drying very quickly, and I'm just going to have to say that presumably Deluxe Sport's going to lose out here. Rakish also staying out since his teammate was in the pits. Definitely could have double stacked there. Saxman is going to come out in front of Ginger Horizon. Presumably Ginger Horizon serving that 5-second penalty in the pits. And there you go. DRS is enabled. Saxman and Ginger Horizon timing it out perfectly on track. Still a little bit slick out there, but nonetheless, definitely softs the tire of choice. Looks like Marlon is now coming to the pits. Groggy as well. Bronny Man still staying out there. Grovsky as well. Deluxe Brackish still have to pit. There, Deluxe is definitely going to lose out here in the fight. So it's all up to Saxman now. Can he hold off Ginger Horizon for 15 more laps in the race? That is the question that we will see answered very soon. Deluxe scored a 5-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. Deluxe scored, and he's retiring. Deluxe scored has retired from the race. Looked to be on for a podium finish. And now we see Ginger Horizon. Speaking of podiums, oh, he just slings it down the inside of Saxman for P1. That's going to be Saxman now back into P2. See if he can fight at all with Ginger here. Or will Ginger just take it for the final 15 laps here and have a little nice parade for himself? That's something Saxman definitely won't want to see, but he's almost outside that second gap. He's going to have to do something here or hope that Ginger messes up and makes a mistake so he can keep it within 1 second and keep the fight going till the end. And doing perfectly 9-9-9. That is how you keep it within DRS zone, just barely making out the second. But even with DRS, he's still losing out here to Ginger. But somehow, even though outside a second, he still gets DRS once again. So Saxman doing his best to keep the fight alive, staying within a second gap here of Ginger Horizon, but presumably just due to slipstream and DRS advantage is the only reason why. But it's going to be a great day for the Toro Rosso team if it stays like this, because Brackish now, out of nowhere, finds himself in P3. But he's going to have to watch out here for Swifty Pickle in 4th place. Swifty, the silent assassin, is looking for that podium spot. And he's gone purple. Put it in the chat. He's gone purple through Sector 2. Hopefully Cody's isn't lying to us, because that would be something else here from Swifty. And he is gaining on Brackish. So both Toro Rossos in a fight here. Saxman trying to keep up with Ginger Horizon for first place, and Swifty Pickle trying to put himself on the podium. So 13 laps to go. Saxman still outside of that second gap from Ginger, and presumably he's just cutting as many corners as he can that he can get away with to keep this gap within a reasonable pace. We'll take a little look here at the telemetry, see what Saxman is working with right here compared to Ginger. Ginger is doing a little bit better here on ERS than Saxman. Saxman, you just see he's putting everything he has in that car. He's already low on fuel as well. Got that fuel warning. So he is pushing his Toro Rosso to the max and just praying that Ginger makes some type of mistake. As you see Ginger go fastest lap and then Saxman go fastest lap. See if Swifty Pickle might be able to break into that as well, as he was going purple, but that's a 10.6 for Saxman. As Night Shrimp, oh no, Night Shrimp disqualified for receiving multiple penalties, which for anyone who doesn't know, that just means that he's been disqualified for picking up too many time penalties. He's cut too many corners. You see him out there on track. So now we only have 8 drivers remaining, 12 laps to go. That is more than half the grid that was unable to finish the race tonight. The Saxman is pushing hard. He's got 3-lap older tires. Ginger's had the pace the entire race, and Saxman is not giving up. You've got to applaud Saxman for his efforts here. He's got DRS. He's abusing his ERS and all the battery that he can just to keep up with Ginger here and keep the fight going. You'd love to see it, and maybe Saxman can pull out the miracle win here. Don't know where time penalties stand between them, but that's again a fastest lap by Saxman. That's a 10.3, and he is pushing his heart out. Oh, almost loses it all in the brief glimpse of a second. But he'll keep fighting on. Just half a second back here from Ginger. We have DRS here down this straight. And unlike his teammate earlier of Aero Brackish, And apologies for the brief cut out in sound, having a little bit of mic troubles here, but back on board as we've still seen Saxman fighting it out with Ginger Horizon, giving it everything he has. Looks like AO Brackish is keeping Swifty Pickle out of any chance of stealing away his podium finish here tonight. So, other than time penalties taking that away from the Toro Rosso team, we might see a double podium from them. But only real place left up for grabs here. And maybe the Drive to Survive PPR style champion. It's up for grabs between Saxman and Ginger Horizon. So we're coming up on 8 laps to go. We have Marlon Conger coming to the pits, presumably pitting this for the softs just to go for the fastest lap of the race. Understands P5 is the best he can do tonight. He's not going to lose out to Bronny Man, who is a lap down. So he's just going to try to set the fastest lap of the night and steal that away from Saxman. Saxman, the way he's been fighting, will not be happy about that if he does lose out. But I think if he can possibly steal a race win away from Ginger Horizon, that will make up for his fastest lap being taken away. But what we are going to start seeing here, and even more of a challenge for Saxman, is tire wear. He pitted at the same time as Ginger, but he got put out on 3-lap older softs, which at the time won't see too much of a difference in pace. But as we start getting to the final few laps of this race, it's going to be all up in the air for can Saxman still stay on pace with Ginger, because his tires are going to fall off just a little bit more, and that could be all that matters by the final couple of laps here in the race. We'll take another look at the telemetry here between these guys. The Saxman has done good to save up on ERS, but so has Ginger. So both of these guys have it all going for them. And what looks to be a battle till the end. Really all you can ask for is Ginger now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Saxman is going around the outside and can't make the move. Oh, he just taps the gearbox there of Ginger and almost loses it. That could have been his race over in a second. Keeps it going, picks up the 3-second time penalty of his own. But nonetheless, he's still in the fight. It's a few tenths further back now. He's gonna have to push as much as possible, as if he hasn't already been doing so. That one small mistake might have just cost him the race. That is how close things have been between him and Ginger, but Ginger is starting to make some mistakes. You gotta think, I mean, in a 70-lap race, by the end of this race, I mean, all of our drivers are sitting in the same position, maybe holding their controller for almost over 2 hours now. You gotta think they're starting to get tired, as Marlon Conga, there we go, 110.3, still the fastest lap of the race here from Saxman. You gotta think fatigue is starting to set in with these guys. You now just have 6 laps remaining, and Ginger Horizon is up over a second now of Saxman. Saxman is gonna be kicking himself for that little bit of contact that he had the last lap here through turn 2. He's now going to start seeing his race win slip away from him. He's now falling back to 2 seconds. And we can just see how much not being in the slipstream of Ginger Horizon is hurting him. And without DRS, Ginger is just going to take off. So barring time penalties and anything crazy going, it looks like Ginger Horizon will get first place here in the race. They're coming down to almost 5 laps to go. Saxman in the Red Bull, who has driven a terrific race tonight, has to be said. Looks like he's going to finish there in P2, and Brackish now in P3. Has kept off Swifty Pickle. But one thing he can't keep off right now is time penalties. That's another time penalty there for Brackish. And really, our survivors, Bronny Man, Groggy, and Grofsky, who has really been at the back of the field the entire race. Oh, as Saxman's left the session, what has gone wrong with him? See if we can get Saxman back into the game. Hopefully he can get back in. And so all of this fighting was not for nothing. As if so, he could quite possibly lose out to his teammate of Brackish. Which would be so sad to see after all the fighting and all the battling that Saxman has done tonight. I hate to see him not be awarded his well-deserved podium. It looks like Saxman still yet to get back into his car. Oh no, and his AI is coming into the pits. Oh no. It looks like Saxman is going to lose out on his podium, presumably. As there comes his teammate of Brackish. And Swifty Pickle now coming around. So Swifty Pickle to find himself on the podium spots quite possibly. Saxman can't rejoin. Oh man, that is just a heartbreaker for anyone that is viewing right now. And for me as well, watching here as a commentator, you just love to see all the battles. And to go 65 laps into the race and get disconnected from the session, I just hate to see it for Saxman. Hopefully he can get back and regain that. But nonetheless, I mean, Ginger Horizon also done a terrific job tonight. Unfortunately, Deluxe Cord opted to retire early as he was also battling for a podium finish. Oh, as he almost loses it there, Ginger Horizon luckily keeps it on track. I mean, all Ginger now has to do is keep his car out the wall and just take a nice little joyride to the finish. But it's been quite the race so far, or I should just say this entire night. As we don't know quite yet if we're going to keep doing our 100% races here on Saturdays. May start switching it up here until we get back to normal weekend action with real life Formula One. But we've had some great races, some great battles. These races sometimes seem to just drag out forever at some points when most of our drivers are battling with different tire strategies and not necessarily trying to fight and just get as much time away from their opponents in front and gain from their opponents behind. So maybe we'll see a shakeup coming next weekend. But it's been a pleasure so far commentating this race as we see Ginger Horizon hopping into the pits. Looks like he's just going to go for fastest lap of the race. Also getting a new front wing as well. Brackish doesn't look like he's going to be able to overtake him here. But who knows? This might be some last lap action. And yeah, it looks like Brackish actually will get ahead of Ginger. No, Ginger's going to get ahead of him just barely. Ginger just been on the front foot all night. Just barely getting out from Brackish there. Brackish is probably just wondering how he found himself into P2 in this race. Really just survived all the carnage, all the chaos. He survived the rain. He survived the safety car. And now he's going to survive the entirety of this race. We're coming up on just 2 laps remaining. To anyone who has viewed the race tonight, let me know your thoughts in the chat, what you thought about this race. It was quite an interesting start. Most of our drivers dealing with lag as OT, unfortunately, was kicked out before the formation lap, which in doing so disrupts Cody's servers. And I mean, that's all really due to Cody's fault there. Because hopefully they can sometime fix that glitch where drivers get kicked out mid-session. Maybe one day. But yeah, we saw a laggy start, some close action between the midfield. The first 15 laps and everything started to break out. Besides Aero Brackish and Marlon Conga really battling it out there midway through the race for, I mean, what would seem to be about 10 to 12 laps. They just couldn't get away from each other. And we had the safety car out because of Easy Breeze. And it was almost the perfect time safety car because everyone, right as the safety car came in, everyone as well came in for intermediate tires. We saw the rain for about 12 laps there in the race until our drivers made their final stops, all pitting for softs and trying to go to the end of the race. And you got to see a great battle between Saxman and Ginger Horizon, as Saxman was giving it all he's got, trying to keep himself right next to the quick boy of the racing point. Unfortunately, due to some disconnect issues, he was unable to keep that fight going and will probably find himself sitting P4. But Swifty Pickle on the last lap of the race is looking to overtake Aero Brackish for P2. One thing I will say, I have not seen Swifty Pickle's name at all on the time penalties. Could Swifty possibly win this race? It's saying a lot. Ginger's going to have 9 seconds of time penalties. And Swifty's going to have to keep it within a 9-second gap. But who knows? Oh, is both Brackish and Swifty presumably picking up wing damage there? Just leaving no space. Doesn't look like either one of them did. Brackish going very deep into the hairpin. Looking to keep it back on. He's going to have DRS here. Take a brief second here with Ginger Horizon crossing the finish line now. Going very slow. Now here's the battle for P2. Swifty Pickle looks like he's going to cross the line before Brackish, and he does. And also due to time penalties, he would have kept that spot anyways. And it looks like him and Ginger had the same amount. Here comes Saxman. P4. And actually due to time penalties, Saxman would have finished maybe still outside of the podium. I don't believe so because of the pit stop, but nonetheless, here comes Marlon Conga finishing P5. Then Groggy, gonna be our last driver to cross the line here. P7, just not at the pace tonight, but had the will to make it till the end. So very nicely done there by him. And Ginger Horizon, race winner, followed by Swifty Pickle and the Williams in P2, and then ARO Brackish, not the Toro Rosso we thought we would see on the podium, but nonetheless, he is there in 3rd place, and his teammate outside in 4th, Saxman. So well driven by the guys that finished the race tonight. We'll see if we can get our podium finishers into the lobby and the party and see what they feel about this race. As we are joined by Swifty Pickle. We'll wait for Ginger and Brackish as well to join the lobby. Swifty, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Sweet, man. So, I mean, you survived. You made it till the end of the race. Only 8 drivers did, and found yourself in 2nd place. So, I mean, how does it feel? Started at 10th. That was a crazy race tonight. And, yeah, find yourself on the podium. How does it feel?
I mean, it's great. If Marlon hadn't, I mean, there's many guys faster than me. Definitely, I just got lucky, I suppose.
Yeah, man, I kind of called you the silent assassin because you're making your way up the grid, not really through too many big overtakes, but you just kind of found yourself there, and
Well, like at the
doesn't
very
look.
beginning, it was because of the mega lag. I was, it was just people zapping in and out, and I didn't realize what was happening. So I just kept my head down and kept at it. I was actually, on the Marlin and Black ARL's train, and I just, lost me wing, and it was so great. But then after that, I pitted, and I forgot to, yeah, it like I didn't want a wing change, but it just gave me another wing, so I just kept on dropping back and back. When you have someone in front of you to chase, you kind of your tempo is constant, right? But if you're just driving on your own, it's all up and down and up and down. So I just kept on, taking one step forward, two step back, one step forward, two step back. But the safety car really helped, and I kind of jumped uh, all of those guys before um, the switch to inners. So I think strategy, safety car, and I think I just got lucky, man. Like everyone behind me, they kept on leaving. So
Yeah, man, hey, but I mean, nonetheless, you made it 70 laps in the P2, and we're now joined by Ginger Horizon. Uh, Looked like Saxman was giving you a little bit of a push there at the end of the race before he disconnected. What are your thoughts on the race, man?
It was long. It was very long. But I just kept consistent and yeah, it was fun.
you're a monster, man.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think everyone on stream can agree to that because I mean, what happened there with the safety car? We saw you picked up a 5-second penalty, lost your end plate as well, so you had to get a front wing change. What exactly happened right there? Because it looked like you were just going to lead the race from start to finish.
Yeah, I think one of the alphas tried to unlap himself, and then I don't know what happened, and then um, Deluxe went in front of me, and then I don't know some glitch, and the safety car stopped and hit me. So I lost my front wing, and I got a penalty. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, nonetheless, man, still finished first
Yeah.
place. You and Swifty, one of two of
The
only
the
8
stint
drivers to make
the
it till the
stint
end. So
on the intermediates was very good, so I'd say.
Wait, so I wasn't racing
yeah.
ARL Brackish, it was his AI?
Oh, that was Brax's AI. That's interesting.
No,
We
it
didn't see
wasn't.
that one
I'm
on
asking
stream.
you. I think it was
Oh
him. I
no,
was
no, it
racing him.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, that was Brackish. Yeah, Brackish didn't look like he disconnected at all in the session. I know. Yeah, we had a big lag spike during the beginning, but that was because Double OT got kicked from the session. So, but yeah, middle of the race and in there, didn't really see any drivers besides Saxman disconnecting. So,
Yeah.
but
Saxman deserved
thank you
P2,
guys.
man.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's a heartbreaker for Saxman. He had drove a great race, but yeah, unfortunately, lap 65 got disconnected. But in
No,
our
he didn't
hearts, he
disconnect. I
finished
think he had to
P2.
go somewhere. He had to go somewhere.
Uh,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
well,
man. I
anyways,
just, I don't have pace, but I just kept the guys in front of me just kept on getting penalties. So, so I guess that helped because I couldn't keep up with Brackish. It was a 3 second gap, but he had like 15 seconds and I had 12 seconds.
yeah, and once again, hats off to you guys. We're gonna call that the end of the stream tonight. Shout out to everyone who